Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes,
and friend
indeed.
to the room. We have Miss Erica Ford. Welcome.
Peace.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling.
That Paper Planes hat is very fresh.
Yes, and hopefully you got to get yours. Like,
Absolutely.
let's get them their hats. Let's give them the two hats right here.
She said she sent it up here, but we just haven't received it yet, or we ain't checked the mail.
These are the custom Life Camp hats.
Paper Planes Life Camp. Greatness is a process coming together with peace is a lifestyle. You know, so that we could help elevate and change lives.
I love that.
Now, if you don't know, Erica Ford is doing something very special this weekend at MetLife Stadium, at Shea
Citi
Stadium.
Field.
Citi Field,
as they call it. It was Shea Stadium. It was Shea Stadium. It used to be called Shea Stadium at Citi Field. I seen you practicing because you're throwing out the first pitch. You ain't look too good, but I know y'all seen you practicing.
You just got to do better than Stephen A. Smith.
You got to do better than Stephen A. Smith
and
in 50.
Yes, I will.
Those two. Those are Queens guys. You got to do better than them.
I will represent. I've been practicing. I'm going to get it to the plate. And Emery from Paper Planes is a catcher. And so I'm the pitcher. He's a catcher. And we're bringing together this movement so that we can help change more young people's lives.
Dope. So what is Party with Camp Play?
It's coming out tomorrow to the Mets game and not only enjoying the fun and helping to build this movement. Because a lot of times people look at joining movements and peace as corny. And I don't want to do that. That's not for me. That's for them people over there, the preachy people, right? And so we want to show them you could have fun. You could be fly. You could be part of doing something positive and having fun and all of that at the same time. And so we're telling people to come out. We're having DJ Booth, Breezy, Lynn, and a lot of other folks are coming out and participate in the tailgate party in the parking lot of Citi Field. And then I'm throwing out the first pitch at 6 o'clock, and then we'll be there for the game. But it's launching the whole movement, you know, bringing together those two slogans, visions, missions of greatness as a process and peace as a lifestyle.
How'd you connect with Rock Nation and Emery?
So we've been working with Shaka. We worked with Shaka for many years. Then connected from Shaka, this young man named Teddy and the Fam group that they have. They do our college tours. So they do scholarships for our kids, and we've been working together. Teddy came and threw the hat on my table. Was like, "You like this?" And I was like, "Get the out of here," you know. And the rest is history. It just brought it together, and it's doing the work, you know. When you're consistently out there doing the work, then I remember I said to Shaka years ago, right, when I was just arrogant, right? Like, why can't Jay-Z support me? Why can't Jay-Z support me, right? And she was like, do your work, right? And when you do your work, then things align with you, but don't beg for somebody to support you. And I just kept doing my work.
Shaka gonna always give it to you straight.
Yes.
Salute to Shaka. I love Shaka so much, man.
I do too.
Now, you've been doing this for such a long time, right? Somebody posted a picture of me and you, back in Queens. It was a long time ago. You were doing the work for the long time, and you decided to slow down a little bit. But what does slow down mean for you? Because there's no slow down for you. So what does that mean for Erica Ford?
So I want to go back to why I had to slow down, right? In a lot of times when we run to the fire, run to the trauma, it depletes us, right? And so I got sick. Like, I would be at night choking, trying to breathe, and my whole nervous system was depleted. And so I had to physically stop. And so I physically stopped doing nothing for 3 months, right? And so now I'm coming back just as the CEO. I will not be running the day-to-day operation of Life Camp. I won't be out there running and, fighting with the police and interrupting shit and taking guns out of people's hands. No, none of that stuff no more. But at an elevated place of showing up at events and organizing, raising money for Life Camp and doing teaching, because I've learned a lot in these 30 years, and I want to teach and give back to young people who are stepping into this field.
You know what's scary about that, though? They always say older people for counsel, young people for war. But the problem is a lot of people in this generation, they're not ready for war.
Right.
You still built for it. Like, you've done fought wars, you've been in wars, you still ready to fight now. Who are you going to pass the torch to?
It's just so funny that this young lady who came with me,
Tiffany
Lamella, is
What up,
actually
Tiffany?
the interim executive director and who I'll be passing the torch to if she passes that process. but we have a group of good young people who are ready. And we have a training academy that we launched with the University of Chicago 2 weeks ago, where we're actually training folks from around the United States to do this work. So as you know, the last time I was here, we talked about Biden bringing down money. And so some of this money that has been brought down is to do the training to prepare people to do this work effectively and efficiently. And so that's what we've been doing. I'm part of a national group called the Black and Brown Peace Coalition. And from that work, we've opened up this training academy. And the first cohort has been launched. And it's a 6 months program. And so hopefully from this training, they will learn how to effectively lead and do this work on the front line.
You was just at the White House, right? Were you there when Quavo was there too, or was that something else?
I wasn't there for when Quavo was there, but I was there when we opened up the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention. So last Friday, the White House launched the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention, first ever, and this will allow real support to come to the ground continually for the work that we're doing. My good son, I call him my political son, Greg Jackson, got one of the jobs as a deputy director, and another young man, Robert, got the other job. And so they're the deputy directors, and a lady named Stephanie is the director under the leadership of Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris.
So has the White House been keeping promises? Because I know they pledged some money.
They did.
They did.
They have been keeping their promises.
Okay.
The Republicans have been blocking as much as they can, but that's why President Biden has doing executive orders now to just override a lot of that stuff. And so they have been, as much as they can, putting down funding, changing where money used to go to other places so that it can hit the ground of CVI workers across the nation. And so they have been in that lane, put the most money in this work.
I was going to ask with New York, right? You know, Charlamagne and myself talk about New York and how much it's changed, right? How much we see and hear more and more violence, whether it's, you know, in the subway or it's shooting or it's mental illness. Since the new mayor has come in, has it been worse? Has he been more helpful? What have we seen? Because on the outside, and even, you know, it doesn't look any better at all. And even reading the paper every day and just hearing the stories, it just seems like it's getting worse.
So it is in the area so it's a multi-pronged question, right? In particular areas, it's getting better, right? The areas in which our collective New York City crisis management system is doing the work, it's getting better as it relates to gun violence. Gun violence is down. But now, as we see around the city, there's different kind of crimes, right? There's people going in, looting stores and, you know, robbing people and stuff like that. And so as we continue to grow the work that we're doing, and we have a problem in New York City. There's been an influx of folks coming into New York, and they're not being able to be placed in proper homes and have the ability to live. And so what are they going to do, right? They're going to come into the community and try to live the best way they know how. And so we can't have that, you know. And so I know with our team, we work to make sure that peace is a lifestyle in a real sense. And so we have peacekeepers, we have our interrupters, we have our special ops team, we have brothers and sisters that we put throughout our target area and make sure that those things don't happen. And so hopefully it'll continue to grow and hire new people to do this type of work throughout the city.
But I feel like the solutions have always been there, right? Way before the migrants came, but you're not even taking care of the people who are here and implementing those solutions with them. So of course you're not gonna be able to take care of the migrants either.
That's what he said.
Now, what's the cannabis injunction that's going on?
So rich white folks who have these big MSOs, multi-state operations, basically put a lawsuit in using the veterans. They did many different lawsuits. This last one, they used the veterans, and they blocked the card holders, which is the brothers and sisters who got falsely arrested for selling cannabis back in the day. And so they were allocated license, or organizations like ours who work with those individuals, and everybody was given license, and they put an injunction in, and it caused to stop the freeze of our ability to do anything. And so we couldn't open up, we couldn't move forward in our process to, get the full license, because it's actually, in order to get the full license, there's things you got to do. And so we weren't able to finish the process. October 4th, it's all for naught. But what they wanted to do when they were successful at doing was slowing the process down so that there's few amount of people who can come into the game before they come into the game. And so now on October 4th, it's open to everybody. Anybody could apply, right? And so it's really unfair because you already had a head start. That's like we in a marathon. You 20 miles ahead, you're going to come back to trip the person behind you because they catching up. Like, what kind, like, are you that greedy?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, so that's what's happening in the cannabis. And so when we see them open, like we should not support these stores. You know, we should not support these big MSOs that come into our community and try to act like they down with us, you know, and have you come into their store to buy their product, but they're in the back room stopping people who really need equity in their community from getting access to equity.
I always had a problem with that because, you know, a lot of times what they would do is, like you said, they would find somebody that's wrongfully arrested, right? Use them to get the license, because most of the people that are wrongly accused or arrested, 9 times out of 10 don't have the bank to actually support a dispensary, right? Because it takes a lot of money, architectural and everything. So what they usually do is they usually back them, and then after 2 years, you can get rid of them.
Right.
And that's what's happening in a lot of these different states. And they have to find a way to fix that. And they also have to find a way to make it not that expensive, because it sounds right. Yeah, we're going to give you the first and this, that, and the other. But who has that amount of bank to actually be able to do the architecture, to do the research, to get the actual licenses and all that? It's almost impossible.
So they gave the individuals $2.5 million, or an allocation of $2.5 million and a space. But like you said, they're the landlord, right? And so at any point in time, they can take the space. They just change the name, put somebody else in, right? If you can't pay up, right? And
I think it's after 3 years or something like that. Yeah. Or they can say, okay, you can do it, but now you can't afford the growing equipment. You can't. You default.
You default. You know, and so there needs to be real equity.
I agree.
Definitely in this. And cannabis, as we see, because when you talk about, there's a bunch of illegal cannabis stores all over New York City.
All over. Trucks,
right?
buses, all over.
And they're not closing those. They're not putting up injunctions to stop those. They're not going out. But the brothers and sisters who, you know, went through the process the legal way and, you know, spent time in jail, lost money, lost family, interrupted their whole process, you're going to come at them. Like, it's just, you know, it's the typical American way.
Absolutely.
And
now we got
to continue to change it.
We got to talk about the Spirit Award now.
You're doing the Spirit Awards before the game, right?
That's right.
Yes.
What are the Spirit Awards for people who don't know?
So the Spirit Awards is awards that we're giving out at the Mets game tomorrow to individuals, organizations that have really, you know, been a critical part in helping people achieve their goals and aspirations, or just bringing up peace, bringing up the vision and mission of what we stand for Life Camp, supported us for years. And so we wanted to give it to the Breakfast Club because of the years that y'all have been supporting us.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much.
And so,
and I gotta ask. So I'm looking at the weather. It says rain tomorrow. Is there a rain date?
That's the Mets. That's up to the Mets.
Okay. Okay. All right. Just asking.
Damn, Erica don't run everything in New York. Lord have mercy.
I'm just asking.
You know, hopefully it starts raining after the
later
first
in the day.
pitch.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate you for always coming up, and you know you always have an open door policy here. Anytime you want to come by, you know the address. Just swing on by, and whatever you need. And as far as us to support you, whatever we can do, we are absolutely positive.
Any other things we need to be looking out for from Life Camp?
I'm sure we're doing a pop-up next week.
Come on, help a Tiff.
Oh, we got our yes. We have our. So it was our 20th anniversary gala, but I got sick, so we had to postpone it, and so now it's our 23rd year anniversary gala. We have coming up in April, but we have a lot. This academy that we're doing in the office with the White House and helping make that a success is really where we're going to put our energy, as well as making sure that the 113 precinct that we work in is the safest precinct in the United States of America. And we're going to use our precinct to be the example of what we can do, because as you say, you're absolutely right. When you invest in what works, then it's allowed to grow and foster. And so the city would already be at a space where we people coming in would fit into our structure.
Right.
But the structure wasn't built.
That's right.
And so we're going to build the structure in Southeast Queens.
There we go.
So people who want to volunteer.
What precinct is that?
113th precinct.
113th precinct. Okay.
And Life Camp's always taking donations, by the way.
Always
Absolutely.
taking donations.
What's the website?
LifeCampInc.com. Always taking donations. Get your Paper Planes hat. It's live on the website. It's live on Paper Planes. Support the work. Support the movement. Let's do this.
All right. Well, it's the Breakfast Club. It's Erica Ford.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.